Will the gentleman yield?
Mr. Casar.
Will yield my time to Mr. Casar.
Thank you very much, Mr. Langworthy. You know, to the ranking member, you know, we're cherry picking, and to Mr. Lynch, we're cherry picking because if you go back to those individuals we had as witnesses, they all said there doesn't exist that information now, but there exists the potential to be there. And the inquiry is different than an impeachment. It is a search for that document. So I think we got to be very, very careful when we're on both sides, when we're talking about this, that we give the whole picture, not part of the picture, the whole picture to this.
What's been found since then?
Well, once again, there's stuff there. So
I'm sorry?
there is stuff there.
There's stuff there?
Yeah.
Can you share it with us?
Because you stack up these random corporations. What are you producing? If I'm a manufacturer, I would do that because I have different businesses accomplishing that. They have nothing to sell. Some paintings, it was access to the president. So now whether that reaches high crimes and misdemeanors, I don't know. I'm not an attorney. But last but not least, I want to make sure that we also get to this, is that you did the process and you stated it. The language has been repeated over and over again. You do this massive hunt with attorneys, not people like dentists or others. You do it with attorneys to gather that information. And then they selectively compile it. You guys get questions, we get questions, and we cover the ground more efficiently. That's why this process works. I agree with you. You do the behind the doors, then you come out here for the public. And I think there's no difference there. I yield back.
Good. Chair now recognizes Mr. Casar for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. My distinguished colleague, the gentlelady from Florida, held up a poster board saying we should hold Hunter Biden in contempt because of a provision saying refusal of a witness to testify. But that doesn't apply in that we have a witness that was here and is willing to testify. Now, I'll give everybody credit here. There seems to be disagreement about whether to do the closed-door deposition, but there is an area of agreement. And the area of agreement is to have a public hearing. And so what I'm interested in, I'll yield a minute of time over to you, Chairman, or somebody from the other side. We've been here for hours, and I have still yet to figure out why we don't have Mr. Hunter Biden here to answer our questions for whatever period of time we want in front of the Oversight Committee. So I want to understand. I want to give Mr. Fallon due credit from the great state of Texas for saying, well, he wants to make sure we have enough time. Mr. Chairman, I'm sure we could agree to whatever amount of time was necessary, but I'm having a lot of trouble understanding why the Republican majority won't take yes for an answer and ask questions of Hunter Biden here publicly. That I think we would really learn, because all I've been hearing on TV news is over and over again that we need to ask Hunter Biden questions. He's saying we can. Why refuse to have this public hearing that it sounds like?
Are you yielding me?
Yeah, I'm happy to yield you 30 seconds.
So we've obtained thousands of pages of bank documents. We've reviewed 170 suspicious activity reports from banks filed against the Bidens. From my banking background, that's unprecedented to have that many bank violations that allege very serious things, from money laundering to tax evasion to bribery. And we have a lot of questions. We want to treat him like any other witness. He doesn't get to set the rules. We will depose him. And look, we split time with Democrats. You all get an equal amount of time with Hunter Biden. Then we'll have a public hearing.
But I guess my question is, if there is disagreement, and it sounds like there is, around the deposition, why not have the public hearing? Is there a reason?
We will after the deposition.
I understand, Mr. Chairman, but nobody has explained to me clearly yet, and I think to your own districts, to my district, why not call Hunter Biden in tomorrow? Why not ask him in next week? We're ready.
Will the gentleman yield? I'd love to answer that question.
Yeah, so I would have loved to have deposed him right here today.
We had a motion.
Rules.
We had a motion
rules.
to do it.
You have 3 days.
Let's do it in 3 days.
No, but my
who
whole
wants
point
to sign up?
is behind closed doors. I would have gone right now. He's here. He's got his legal representation there. Let's play this game. But we have rules that say you have 3 days.
I'm not playing game one. I'm sure we could waive the 3 days. Second, we could have it here in 3 days if there's agreement about if what we're hearing from the Republican side over and over and over again is they've got questions for Hunter Biden. The quotes from this hearing. Hunter Biden's testimony is critical. I want to delve into questions I have for Mr. Biden. Why not ask for those? Why not ask for that tomorrow? We could
The
see if he
deposition
would-
tomorrow?
No, we would have him here in public tomorrow in
After-
front of everyone.
after the
I understand
deposition?
you're saying after the deposition, but my
Well-
question for you is just very clearly, why not have the public hearing tomorrow?
Will the gentleman yield to that question?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Chairman, if
and
you
Mr.
may.
Donalds, I want to compliment you because I remember our first Oversight Committee hearing, you said it would be good to have these real conversations, so I genuinely
I
want
am
to
all for this, Mr. Casar. I actually enjoy this part. If we ever get to it, look, the reality is, and you have attorneys on your side of the aisle, there is never any proceeding that takes place without a deposition of the witness. The reason why is because if something comes up in the round of questioning, either A, members of this committee may not be prepared because they don't have all the information from the witness, because the witness was never given an opportunity with his attorneys present to actually give out that level of information. So you need the deposition process before you bring a witness into open hearing. This happens all the time. This is actually the protocol of the House. And Mr. Casar, what your side of the aisle is requesting, with all due respect, is a deviation from the historical precedent
the
of the
gentleman
House of
yield?
Representatives.
I'll yield back to the ranking member.
Well, but thank you for moving the ball forward with that explanation. That has been the practice sometimes, not all times. The vast majority of witnesses who come before this committee come without being deposed first. We come and ask for their testimony. But in any event, even for a witness who's being subpoenaed, like Mr. Biden was, we have a completely different situation when the chairman goes out publicly and says, we will give you the choice, A or B. You can have a deposition or you can come in the hearing, but I challenge you, I invite you, I insist that you come before the committee, and repeatedly says that. So that's why I think legally it's a very complex question, but I don't see why we take this all the way to all the way to court. If you guys really want to hear from him, let's have a public hearing and then depose him afterwards. But he's saying he doesn't want to be misrepresented. Thank you for yielding.